All right, so this is question 24. Looks like we got two classes. Let's go look at class tests to see if we notice anything that sticks out, right? The only thing I can really see is that we have two methods, confusingly enough, called method that take in different parameters, right? So it looks like these are overloaded, meaning they have the same name, but take in different parameters. This is totally fine. Um, but yeah, I mean, like we don't even have any data fields or anything along those lines. So we're not really going to be worried about calling um, a private method here out of the class. Maybe we should just note that this is static, but it probably won't even matter, right? So what I'm saying is that we don't really notice any anomalies. We should probably just start at main and see where it takes us. Still starting at main, right? We have, well, we just have this one line, right? If we can complete this one line, we're done, right? But something tells me that this one line might not be so short. So let's see where it takes us. What does this even mean? I see three methods with the name method. Where should I even go? Right? Well, you have to think. What does main see? What is main able to look at? It can see, I guess, really only this. It's the only other method that main has eyes on. It can't see all this because in order to see all of that, you would need to do something like this. Right? You need to do like something like test dot method, or maybe you've declared a test over here. T1 is equal to new test, right? We assume that the default constructor is going to work because I don't think they actually defined a constructor here. Yeah. So we're going to be using Java's constructor here, and then do something along the lines of T1 dot method. That's the only way that main is going to be able to even see these methods down here. So because we don't have that, because we're not using a test object or even the test name to access method, we're going to go to the only method that we can see, right? I guess like the only method, named method, that takes in no parameters, the only one that we can see. And that's going to be this guy right here, right? So we're going to go right here. It doesn't matter that it's private. We're in the class main where it was declared to be private in the first place. So that's totally fine. We're going to make a temporary test object, right? I say temporary because it's not being assigned to anything, so we're going to lose it after this line runs. We're going to make that temporary object, and what does that have us do? Because we sort of have to, I guess, quote unquote, evaluate the parentheses here first before we can go on to dot method. So what does this do? We don't have that a predefined, or I guess an already defined constructor, so we are going to rely on Java's default constructor, which sets all fields equal to 0 or null. We don't even have fields to set equal to null, right? We just have two methods. So that's fine. We create this temporary test object. I mean, you can make a box if you want, but we're just going to lose it after this line anyways. So really, it's acting like a middleman. It's acting like the vessel that we're going to use to actually access tests method, right? So we're going to go to test method. Now, it's going to be either one of these two, right? All we have to do is match up the parameters with one of these guys. So we're looking for the method that takes in nothing. So that's this guy right here, because this guy takes in an integer. It can't be this guy. It's got to be this one. So we're using this test middleman to access the test method that takes in nothing. So we're right here. And now what do we have to do? We have to access the method, named method, that takes in a single integer. So again, I have to ask myself, what can this class, I guess, what can I see when I'm in this class, right? I can see this method right here, and I can see this one right over here. What I can't see is main's method, right? I can't see anything over here without actually creating a main object, right? So The only thing I have access to is this method right here. The method that, well, I guess like in regards to this, to the scope of this method right here, I can only see this. I can see myself and I can see this. Thankfully, I do have an integer over here, because if I didn't, I would recursively call this method over and over and over and over and over again, and then I would eventually, I think, have a Stack Overflow, right? So that'd be really bad, right? You'd circle none of the above because your program would crash. But we're down here, we're trying to get method of 2, right? So I can see this other method, and it takes in an integer. So I got to go there, right? So to evaluate this line, I go right here. I do exactly what it tells me. It's telling me to print out S. So let's print out an S. Right, so that's this line completely done, right? So now I'm on to the next line, right? So I completed this line, that's fine. Now I'm down here. I just have to print out NS. Okay, let's do that. NS. Okay, so we're done here, right? That's the end of the method. I have to go back from where it was called from. Where was this called from? It was called from right here, right? All right, so let's go to the next line. Oh wait, the next line is saying we're done with this method. So where was I called from here? Like what called this method? This guy right here. Okay, let's go to the next line. Oh wait, we're done with that method. We're done with the main method. So we're done with the problem, right? What did we print out? We printed S and S. This answer choice right here. Let's go ahead and verify. And yeah, right. A would be the answer you'd want to choose on the test. I'll see you guys in the next.